Hello everyone, it's Brutalis. Today we're playing another indie game called Anuchard. It launched a few days ago on Steam with a price tag of $15. Well, now it's discounted to $12 or 12 euros. So that's a pretty good price, but let's see, is it worth it? First, let's start with the story. You're playing as the Chosen One, the Bell Wielder, on an island called Anuchard, which was floating in heavens, guarded by 5 guardians that kept it from harm until they got upset or something, and they decided to destroy the island. So the island fell down from the heavens, and in the end, 2 things remained. A tiny speck of land, where farmers tended the land and lived simple lives, and the dungeon, a mysterious place inhabited by monsters and sleeping guardians. Eager to rebuild their kingdom and meet their old gods, villagers from the island entered the dungeon, and all of them got lost or turned into stone. And it is your duty as the new Bell Wielder to rescue everyone and turn Anuchard into the prosperous kingdom that was before the fall from heavens. You can achieve this by wielding a bell-shaped weapon and with the help of 2 companions, Dolly and Bimba. While the story isn't original, it serves its purpose. It gives you a drive, keep on playing and see what happens next. Now, let's talk about the gameplay. You can only save the game manually by entering Chief's office and writing a journal entry. That puts a fair amount of pressure on you as a player, because if you die during dungeon runs, you'll have to start from the beginning. That isn't so bad, because you can complete a dungeon run in fairly around 10 minutes, or even less if you're experienced. Your main goal in the dungeon is beating enemies. Some of them are simple enemies that can die by hitting them with your bell-shaped weapon, or armored enemies that you have to first shoulder charge them. So you break their armor and then you can attack them with your weapon. Although the combat is pretty simple, you attack enemies with your weapon, shoulder charge them or avoid their attacks. I had fun fighting enemies and I didn't get bored. Instead, I was excited and I wanted to fight more enemies. Besides fighting in dungeons, you also have to complete puzzles that aren't that hard, but involve trial and error and coordination from your character. And your fingers, of course. I really like the fact that the harder puzzles are optional and you only have to do them if you want the extra materials or just want an extra challenge. Well, I wanted the extra challenge, so after spending a few minutes, I managed to solve all the puzzles and I wasn't that frustrated. It was quite pleasant. I didn't consider it as time wasted. Solving this puzzle really reminded me of the game Pong. It was quite fun. Besides puzzles and fighting regular monsters, we also have interesting boss battles at the end of the dungeon, where you have to defeat the boss so you can rescue the soul of the poor person that got trapped in the dungeon. Boss battles aren't that hard, and most bosses have something in common. They each have 3 stacks of armor that you have to deplete by shoulder charging the bosses into walls to break their armor so you can finally attack them. So far, I have never died while fighting the end bosses, but if you don't pay attention, you can die and you'll have to start the dungeon from the beginning. Yikes! After beating the end of the dungeon bosses, you can encounter different NPCs that can help you later in town and can rescue the souls of the petrified villagers that enter the dungeon and fail. After, you'll perform a ritual in the village, and with the ritual, you'll be able to bring the villagers back to life. Although the game looks pretty good, there are some things that I don't like about the game. First off, the game is advertised as an action RPG or a JRPG, but mostly it's an action adventure because you cannot level up, you don't gain experience points when you are fighting monsters, and you cannot change your weapon or earn new abilities that you can use on your character. You can only find materials that you later use for upgrades in the village, like more food that you can eat. And the food is the closest thing that you'll get to something similar to an ability, because besides the HP that you gain from eating food, it also adds a special attack to your bell-shaped weapon. Besides food, other upgrades include village improvement, flower gardens, an essence extractor, and a revive skill that, instead of dying, will make you invulnerable and restore 40% of your HP. Unfortunately, for me at least, these improvements weren't enough, and after 2 hours I just got a bit tired of the game and I didn't have any motivation to keep on going. I mean, I was using the same skills that I was using when I started the game. I saw no improvement in my character after playing 2 hours, and that's why I play RPGs, because I want to see an improvement, something different after playing. I was doing the same damage and I had the same weapon. But the problem is, I had an expectation that this game was an RPG, and this is wrong. I think the developer should just advertise it as an action-adventure pixel game. And as an action-adventure game priced at $12, then I would say it's pretty good. I mean, you have boss battles, you have puzzles, you have various dungeons to explore, and some enemies to beat. If you like pixel-styled games and have some money to spare, you should try this game out, or at least wishlist it on Steam to help out indie developers. That was it for today. Thanks for watching, and remember, drop me a like, a comment to tell me about your opinion, and a subscribe. That would help me a lot. Have a great day.